Greetings and congratulations from Touch History. I, Pervez Kamal, am trying to present the history of America based on true events, feeling the urge to inform the next generation. Today's history is about Native Americans, the true story before Columbus. Now, start. Long before European sails touched the horizon, the continents of the Americas were already alive with vibrant civilizations, ancient wisdom, and thousands of years of human history. The story of Native Americans did not begin in 1492. It began over 15,000 years earlier when the first peoples crossed into a new world of ice, forests, and endless horizons. They were hunters following mammoths, families seeking new land, dreamers searching for a future. As the ice melted and time reshaped the earth, these early settlers spread across mountains, deserts, plains, and rainforests, forming cultures as diverse as the landscapes they lived in. From the Arctic tundra to the Amazon basin, the Americas became a mosaic of nations long before they had names on any map. These early societies built their lives around the rhythms of nature. In the north, the ancestors of the Inuit mastered frozen seas, navigating icy waters and hunting seals with tools carved from bone and stone. In the Pacific Northwest, great cedar forests sheltered peoples who carved towering totem poles and sailed sleek wooden canoes through fog-covered fjords. Farther inland, the Great Plains were ruled by vast herds of buffalo, and native tribes followed their migrations, developing a nomadic world defined by skill, courage, and deep spiritual connection to the land. Each environment shaped the way its peoples lived, but across all these regions, one idea remained constant: the belief that humans were not masters of the earth, but part of it. In the eastern woodlands, powerful confederacies emerged among the Iroquois and other nations. They built long houses stretching like wooden cathedrals through the forests. They governed themselves through councils and complex systems of diplomacy that amazed later observers. Their great law of peace, a political union built on consensus, unity, and shared responsibility, would one day inspire democratic ideas far beyond their homeland. To the south, agricultural societies flourished. People cultivated corn, beans, and squash, weaving the identity of their civilizations around these crops. Farming shaped their calendars, ceremonies, and seasonal journeys. Over time, villages grew into towns, and towns grew into cities that rivaled any in the ancient world. In the Mississippi River Valley rose Cahokia, the largest pre-Columbian city north of Mexico. Its massive earthen pyramids towered over plazas where tens of thousands lived, traded, and worshipped. Traders carried shells from the Gulf, copper from the Great Lakes, and obsidian from the Rockies to markets buzzing with activity. Cahokia was a center of astronomy, engineering, and social organization, built on a level of planning that demanded knowledge passed down over generations. Its influence stretched far across the continent, shaping cultures that continued long after the city declined. To the southwest, in the canyons and deserts, the ancestral Puebloans created an architectural legacy carved into cliffs and built into stone. Their cities rose in spirals of interconnected rooms, storage chambers, towers, and ceremonial spaces. Complex irrigation systems brought water into dry lands, proving that innovation thrives even in harsh environments. Their descendants, including the Hopi and Zuni, preserved the spiritual memory of these ancient builders. In the same region, the Apache and Navajo developed societies rooted in mobility and adaptation, navigating some of the most challenging landscapes in the Americas with extraordinary skill. Farther south, the great civilizations of Mesoamerica flourished. The Maya, whose ancestors inhabited the tropical jungles of Central America, studied the stars with unmatched precision. Their astronomers tracked planets, predicted eclipses, and built calendars of astonishing accuracy. They raised stone cities filled with towering pyramids, carved hieroglyphs that documented dynasties and rituals, and created vibrant art that still survives today. In central Mexico, the long vanished city of Teotihuacan rose with streets perfectly aligned to celestial movements. Its pyramids dominated a valley where tens of thousands lived in carefully planned neighborhoods. These societies were deeply connected through trade, diplomacy, and cultural exchange long before European explorers set foot on Atlantic shores. In South America, the Inca Empire stretched like a backbone across the Andes Mountains. Though this civilization rose later than many in North America, their roots went deep into the ancient Andean world. The Inca built thousands of miles of stone roads, terraced mountainsides into vertical farmlands, and raised cities that blended perfectly with the surrounding landscapes. Their achievements echoed the engineering brilliance found in North America's earlier cultures, proving that the Americas were a continent of innovators, thinkers, and builders. But the story of Native Americans before Columbus is not just a story of cities and empires. It is also a story of belief. Across the continents, people developed spiritual systems that honored the earth, sky, and the spirits they believed moved through all living things. Ceremonies, dances, songs, and stories connected each generation to the next, passing on wisdom about nature, morality, and the invisible world. These traditions shaped their understanding of time, life, and community. They were not primitive beliefs, but sophisticated worldviews that offered meaning, identity, and purpose. Before Columbus, the Americas were not an empty wilderness. They were a world of nations, over 500 distinct languages, countless customs, political alliances, and social systems. Some people lived in densely populated cities, others in small villages or nomadic communities. Some were warriors, others were traders, healers, astronomers, farmers, hunters, and storytellers. The diversity was astonishing, rivaling the cultural complexity of Europe, Africa, or Asia. The continents were connected through vast trade networks stretching from the Arctic to the Andes, exchanging goods, ideas, and technologies across thousands of miles. Every region contributed something unique to the shared human story. But when Columbus eventually arrived, he did not discover a new world. He encountered a world that had always existed, shaped by thousands of years of human achievement. The societies he met had histories as deep and rich as any in the old world. They had risen, transformed, adapted, and endured. Their story is not defined by the moment Europeans arrived. It is defined by everything they had built long before that moment. The true story of Native Americans before Columbus is a story of resilience, creativity, and complexity. It reminds us that civilizations do not need marble temples or iron armies to be extraordinary. They need knowledge, spirit, community, and time, and Native Americans had all of this long before the first ship touched their shores. Their legacy continues today, carried by the descendants of those who shaped the land, honored its riddles, and built a world that still whispers beneath the soil, rivers, and mountains of the Americas. Subscribe if you love this kind of historical storytelling. It's not just facts, it's feelings. Drop your current city and time in the comments. I love knowing history with True. Thank you.